All right, you see the title of the video. This is going to be a tough one. There's not much in life that hurts me more than to see people mess up money. You mess up the money. Check out this video, get caught up, come back, and we'll talk about it.
Week, Norfolk Southern has ousted CEO Alan Shaw, effective immediately. I want to get to Morgan Brennan this morning with details on this story. Hey, Morgan.
Hi, Carl. Well, Norfolk Southern's board terminating Alan Shaw for cause, unanimously appointing Mark George, the company's CFO since 2019, to the CEO role. That is effective immediately. This after preliminary findings from an ongoing investigation found Shaw violated company policies by engaging in a consensual relationship with Norfolk's chief legal officer, Nabanita Nag, who has also been let go. The decision coming just days after CNBC broke news of the investigation. It ends a tough 2-year tenure for Shaw, who took the helm amid intense labor negotiations with rail unions. This is a tenure that spanned 2023's toxic Ohio train derailment and cleanup efforts. That's something I covered closely, even sitting with Shaw in East Palestine. That was an incident that resulted in a record $600 million settlement and with residents and triggered more scrutiny of safety regulations.
Now, when situations like this happen, usually I can only think of one thing, right? A lot of times I think about the situation, right? And in this case, we got a CEO, right? He's a CEO of a company that he did not find, right? He did not found the company, right? He didn't create this company. He rose through the ranks. If I'm not mistaken, he worked for the company for 30 years. Now, the one question I always ask myself in cases like this is, was it worth it? Alan, I would look Alan right in his eye. If Alan was here right now, I would ask him, Alan, was it worth it? I don't care how fine she was. Alan, was it worth it? All right, so let's put things in perspective. Alan is the CEO of this company. And we're going to assume for the sake of this conversation, the CEO of the company, he's probably making millions of dollars, right? Alan had a consensual relationship with one of his executives. What the article didn't say is that Alan is married. Now, other than just having a relationship with somebody you work with, that's already, grounds for being terminated for cause within most corporate environments. When you manage somebody, you're their superior, you can't date them. Now, in Alan's case, Alan was not only the superior, but he was also married. So what you might be thinking, okay, it's not illegal to have an affair and so forth. We don't know what type of relationship that him and his wife had, but forget all that. Alan had just survived a ousting vote earlier this year. Now, the bad part about this is that when you get fired for cause, what they're saying in the article is that this is a way for them to get rid of him and not have to pay them. Now, had he gotten fired earlier in the year, they would have probably given him, that coveted golden parachute that a lot of CEOs and, different executives get. When you leave the company, they give you a ton of money. And it's almost like getting fired, but not getting fired because you're leaving with a serious, bag of money. But in this case, when it's for cause, there might be justification for not paying him. So that's double. Alan, what are you doing? Now, the sucky part about this, earlier this year, when they did try to fire him, it was because the company wasn't doing great. They were going through a lot of different issues. Now, he had only been the CEO for a couple of years, so everything wasn't his fault, but the company wasn't on the right track. So you had some people thinking performance wise, we need to do better. We need to make some changes. And then obviously the majority of people said, OK, he's only been here 2 years. Let's give him a shot. Now, if the company had been doing well, I can promise you this probably wouldn't have been an issue. If Apple found out Tim Cook was, smashing on one of his underlings, I promise you they'll probably cover it up. They'll probably find every excuse to excuse his behavior. But when the money is not right, the investors are not happy, people not getting their bonuses, this is when it becomes an issue. Prayers up for Alan. I hope he learns his lesson. Hopefully he get another shot at it. I don't think, something like this, as bad as it may be to a family and so forth, I don't think he should lose his job. And I don't think he probably should have lost this job, but I don't think he should be done forever. I hope he gets another shot. And if this is the story on face value, let's send some prayer birdies up for Alan. And we'll go from there, man. And let me wipe this tear off. Now I'm curious. What are your thoughts, man? What am I missing? Let me know if you've been through something like this or you know of somebody that been through something like this. So like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when I drop new content. I'm out. Peace.